The day is finally upon us, BINO Nation. The day is finally upon us. Yes, yes, yes. Joy Reid, Reid out, has been canceled. I don't even know. I don't even know how I should feel. It's really surreal. It's a really surreal feeling because it's one of those things like it gives me hope for the future. You know how we'll sit back and we'll see somebody like Joy Reid on TV and we'll be like, man, they ain't never gonna get rid of her. And then we'll look at the View and we'll be like, man, they ain't gonna never get rid of them. It's like the tide is shifting, bro. Some of the things that we thought would never happen are starting to happen, bruh. Like straight up and down. And look, this is the goofiest part of the whole situation, right? The goofiest part of the whole situation is this type of shit right here.
The firings of Jim Acosta and my friend Joy Reid are about Trump appeasement. The administration demanded its critics be fired, and their bosses capitulated.
Negroes like this, Negroes like this is what's wrong with the black community. Do you understand me? Negroes like that is what's wrong with the black community. Point blank, period. Okay? This Count Olaf face ass nigga. You feel what I'm saying? This bird beak face ass nigga. This is what's wrong with the black community. Right? So you got him saying that, right? You got him saying that. And then you got this chick right here.
Did I just hear that they canceled Joy Reid's show on MSNBC? Please tell me I did not hear that. I already canceled Joe and Mika, Morning Joe, when they went and kissed the ring. I just couldn't believe that. I have been listening to Morning Joe for, ever. And I was just so disappointed that they did that. So I was still watching Rachel, Joy.
Now look at this Negro right here.
What up, black folks? So I'm just hearing it. MSNBC is canceling the Reid Out Joy Reid show. But they still got fucking Joe Scarborough and Mika, the motherfuckers who ran down there to Mar-a-Lago to sell out. Yeah, when they gonna cancel that? You know, but I ain't even really mad about it because I think Joy Reid was wasting her time on that fucking platform. You know, now she might have opportunity to say what she really want to say about the things, you know, that's bothering her. And she typically speaks out about it. So yeah, I ain't even really sad about this shit. It just proves, you know, who MSNBC is. And my decision to quit watching their monkey ass since the election, which I haven't done. So yeah, congratulations, Joy Reid. You don't need that shit.
Niggas like this fuel my rage. Do you hear me? Niggas like this fuel my rage. These are some of the dumbest people in existence. Why? Because they are running around here acting like she got fired because of racism. Black people, Negroes, She got fired because her ratings are in the gutter. Okay? That's why she got fired. She got fired because people got tired of watching her sit her hateful ass up there and pretend to be a journalist. But it's really interesting to see that you Negroes are still falling for the same bullshit. Really interesting. You're still falling for the bullshit. Still falling for it. This is the type of rhetoric she used to spew. Look at this. Watch this.
Nothing else matters but stopping Trump, the Republican Party, and Project 2025 in November. You have 119 days to get right with that and get comfortable with that. That's all that matters, okay? And the only way to stop them is with our votes. Let's not be trying to play games with these kinds of small things to try to pull us into a direction. All that matters in this election, and I genuinely mean this, all that matters in this election, the only thing that matters in this election is keeping Donald Trump and Project 2025 out of power. Keeping that insane ideology of white Christian nationalism and white supremacy and white male Christian dominance out of power. That's all that matters. I genuinely don't care who the Democratic nominee is, and I'm being real. I don't care. If it's Biden, fine. If it's Kamala.
I'm still trying my best to figure out what in the hell was in Project 2025 that they had a problem with. I read the whole thing. I read the entire thing. Can someone please tell me what was in Project 2025 that they had a problem with? Because I'm going to tell you the only thing I saw in there that they could possibly have a problem with. The only thing I saw in there that they could possibly have a problem with is that it was against the Skittle Squad. It was against the Skittle Squad. It was against all of this new age progressive crap, like people switching genders and all of that. That, to me, that's what they, you know what it seems like to me? What it seems like to me is that the Democrats and the left were against that because of all of that. But they get black people to pretend that there's some racism in Project 2025 because they know the average black person ain't gonna read the shit. So they got you Negroes out here fighting against Trump because you think he's got some sort of hidden racist agenda, when really the left has put a battery in your back to fight for everything but racial equality. I mean, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Is that what it was? Because I read through it and I was trying my best to find something, even though, let's be real, Project 2025 isn't even Trump's agenda. It's not even his agenda. It's not even his agenda. So I'm sitting here like, okay, number one, that's not even Trump's agenda. And even if it was, I read through it. I didn't see nothing in there that was like, oh my God, I can't believe they're trying to sneak this in. Like, everything that was in Project 2025 to me was traditionalism. That's all it was, in my opinion. It was a call to bring things back to traditionalism. I didn't see anything else in there. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. Did y'all see anything in there? Did y'all see anything else in there? Because I didn't. I didn't. I was trying my best to figure out what was it that was in there, because even to this day, they try to say that Trump has a racist agenda, and I'm like, how? How? Most Hated said that's what they wanted to stop, traditionalism. It goes against the feminist agenda. Yeah, and you know what? This is what I think they're trying to do. They're trying to use the history of white men to say, oh, if we go back to traditionalism, then that means we're going to go back to racist patriarchy, racist white men. And I'm like, how? How? Because in my opinion, it's like there's a lot of things in traditionalism that is beneficial, but it's almost like it's like they're trying to get rid of certain things that's good by trying to pretend that they're fighting against something bad. Like prime example, right? It's almost like they're trying to get rid of men being the head of the household, which is a good thing for men to be the head of the household. But they're trying to pose it as, oh, we don't want Christian white males to run the country, because if they do, they're going to be racist and oppressors. You see what I mean? So they'll try to use that talking point when really the real agenda is to stop men from being the head of the household. You get what I'm saying? Like, am I the only one that see that going on? You feel me? It's like they're promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion, but really they're doing that to be anti-traditional family. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's one thing to say, okay, you know what? We're being tolerant of people that are in same-sex marriages, right? So it's like, oh, we're being tolerant of that, and those people have the right to get married and live the way they want to live. But why do you have to try to destroy the traditional marriage? That's where my problem comes in. My problem comes in with all of the new age progressive stuff. It's like they act like that stuff can't exist as long as traditionalism exists. So it's like, well, if we have this new way of thinking, we got to get rid of that old way of thinking, even if the old way of thinking is not totally and completely wrong. You feel what I'm saying? It's like they're trying to restructure the way the family structure is as if there was something wrong with the family structure in the first place. There wasn't anything wrong with the family structure in the first place, man, woman, and child. There was nothing wrong with that. Why can't you, because that population, that group only represents 1% of the damn population. Why do the rest of us have to change the way we live to accommodate the 1%? That doesn't make any damn sense. And that's the reason why they lost the election. That's the reason why they lost the election. They lost the election because at the end of the day, why do you have to try to upend the world and change the entire way the world runs for a small, tiny, minuscule group of people? You feel me? And I tell you something else too. Let's see, Angry Snowman said it's a war against straight white and black men masked under the guise of racism and white supremacy. Of course, that's exactly what it is. But I tell you what else it is too. Because if you notice, listen to what she says. Watch this. I'm going to play it again. Listen to what she says.
Kamala Harris, fabulous, right? What matters in this election is keeping Donald Trump and Project 2025 out of power. Keeping that insane ideology of white Christian nationalism and white supremacy and
white Christian nationalism. Now, let me break down what's in that. That's their way of being anti-God without saying they're anti-God. Because that's my other question. Why do the Democrats and the lefties have a problem with Christians? Why do the Democrats and the lefties, and look, I'm going to keep it real with you. They don't just have a problem with, look, they have a problem with Christianity. They have a problem with the traditional family structure. They have a problem with freedom of speech. They have a problem with the Second Amendment. They have a problem with populist nationalism or populism. They have a problem with that. Really, to be truthfully honest, they have a problem with everything that is literally the foundation of America. But what they do is so you got all of these things that make up America, right? Literally the foundation of America, right? This is what they do. Out of everything that makes up America, there was only one thing that was problematic, and that was racism. So what they do is they pretend like all of America's foundation is racism. So they jump out there and say, well, if we go back to America being great again, it's going to be racist. So what they're doing is they're trying to literally use racism to get rid of all of the stuff that made America what it is. So they use racism to try to get rid of Christianity or religion. They use racism to try to get rid of freedom of speech. They use racism to try to get rid of the Second Amendment. They use racism to try to get rid of the family structure. You see what I mean? That's the okie doke. And here's the sad part about it. The sad part about it is racism today isn't nearly the problem it was back in the day. But they keep adding fuel to it. See, they'll say, well, back when the man was the head of the household, the world was more racist. We don't want to go back to that. Back when we had intact family units and a high marriage rate, the world was more racist. So we don't want to go back to that. Back when people were able to carry guns as a constitutional right, that was the world was more racist. So we don't want to go back to that. Back when people said whatever they wanted, they said racist stuff. So we don't want to go back to that. You know what that's called? There's a saying for it. There's a saying for it. The saying for it is this. It's when you throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's when you throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's when you throw the baby out with the bathwater. Now, here's my thing. If Joy Reid doesn't believe in God, then why don't she take her godless behind back to whatever country that her and her parents came from? Straight like that. And here's another thing, black folk. You need to watch who you allow speak for you. You need to really watch who you allow speak for you. In fact, I got a video for you. Let me see if I can find this video. Because you got all of these people fighting for freaking communism. That's really what it is. You got all of these lunatics running around here fighting for communism. Let me see if I can find this video real quick. So you got these people that really, you know, and I saw Angry Snowman say, you're 100% right. They're definitely commies. They're definitely commies. And see, the funny thing is they've used the institutions of higher learning. Like they've used the colleges to try to paint this glamorized portrait of Karl Marx, this glamorized portrait of socialism, communism, Marxism, or whatever, right? And these stupid, and I do mean stupid, college students are falling for it. Instead of actually doing the history of, look, here's the other thing that they do, right? So much is focused on the short mustache man, right? That is considered the worst thing anybody can call you is a Yahtzee, right? So much focus is put on that they ignore Mao. They ignore Stalin. They ignore Castro. Like, they ignore all of these historical communist states that were horrible. And it's amazing to me because you're literally in a college And it's like, nobody's teaching this. Nobody's studying this. Hold on, let me find this because I just was looking at it earlier. Where the hell is it at? There it is, right there. I hadn't saved it. Watch this.
He take everything. One chicken, one time a month. He take everything.
Said he take everything. Right? He take everything. This is Rosa Garcia, a survivor of communist Cuba.
One chicken, one time a month.
You get one chicken a month.
One chicken.
One chicken a month for the whole family.
Only chicken.
And what else?
3 ounces of coffee.
3 ounces of coffee.
No fruit.
No fruit. Fruit wasn't allowed,
No
fam.
fruit.
No fruit.
And the bread in Cuba is beautiful. I know family in Cuba. You have 3 girls. The guy say, this bread no looks like Cuban bread.
So she said the bread in Cuba is beautiful. She said, I know this family that had 3 girls. The guy said, this don't look like Cuban bread.
For that, he go to jail. His wife, he don't know where he is for 3 or 4 years.
Gave that nigga 3 or 4 years, bruh. Because he criticized the bread. Because he criticized the bread. 3 or 4 years. Because he criticized the bread.
The guy went to jail for questioning the bread.
You shout like that, they put you in jail.
In jail. Jail. 3 or 4 years.
One chick.
3 or 4. Let me see if I can find this on YouTube. Let's see. Rosa Garcia fleeing Cuba. Rosa Garcia fleeing Cuba. Let's see if it comes up. Bro, let me tell you something. And I've said this before and nobody wants to pay attention to it. The way communism works is this. This is the lie of communism. The lie of communism is that everything will get dispersed equally. That's the lie of communism. Okay? The lie of communism is everybody will have the same house. Everybody will get the same amount of money. Everybody will get the same amount of food. Everybody will have their basic needs, right? This is the lie. This is the lie. Okay? And it's easy to see how niggas would fall for socialism, communism, whatever. Look at how quickly they latch on to welfare, right? Because that's all communism is. It's a version of welfare, right? Instead of working for what you get and all of that shit, like you work, but everybody is divvied up certain supplies and shit, right? Here's where the problem comes in. The problem comes in with the individual who is doing the dispersing, right? So guess what? if you've got a dictator, what he's going to do is, let's say he's got all of these supplies. He's got 100% of the supplies, right? What he'll do is he'll take 90% of the supplies, push that to the side, right? Then he'll tell the public all we have is the 10%. And then what he'll do is he'll take the 10% of the supplies that you think is the 100%, because he'll give some lie like, oh, well, we don't have that much, we're a poor country, blah, 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 whatever, right? And so what he'll do is he'll take 10% of the supplies that he actually has, and he'll divide that up amongst the people. And then him and the rest of his government officials and his family and their families, they'll live off of the 90% of the shit. It's basically what the Democrats are trying to do to us right now, which is why they're pitching a fit about Donald Trump sending in Elon and Doge to actually audit and find out where all the money's going. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what they're trying to do to us right now. The Democrats and the lefties. And they've been trying for a long time. They have been trying to make this country a communist country for a very long freaking time. They've been trying their best to do it. They've been trying their best to do it. And they get pissed off. That's why you hear them screaming about democracy, 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 democracy. They're not talking about democracy. They're talking about communism. That's what they're talking about. They're talking about communism. They don't give a damn about democracy. Trust and believe. They could care less about democracy. Yo, shout out to Matthew. Shout out to Tall. Said, not to mention, Joy had the folding chair stickers on her laptop. A subtle nod to race wars. Yep. Shout out to Michelle. Said, I'm so glad that bald head orangutan malt ball face B is gone. A ratchetang. Shout out to David. Said, a woman of Indian descent as our president? Nope. How about a man of Indian descent as our FBI director to get them all locked the F up? LOL. Facts. Facts. That's facts. But yeah, that's, that's the issue that we're all dealing with. You feel me? That's the issue we're dealing with. We're dealing with oh, snap. Dan Bongino named deputy FBI director. Stop playing. Stop playing. Bro. Dan Bongino named deputy FBI director. Oh, you Democrats are in trouble. Ooh, we. Man, look. Bro. That's a wrap, bro. Spygate. The attempted sabotage of Donald J. Trump. Dan Bongino. They are in trouble. Woo-wee. Damn. So let me get this straight. Kash Patel is the director of the FBI. And Dan Bongino is the deputy director? How many of you watched Dan Bongino? How many of you watched Dan Bongino? if you watch him, bro, because he used to work for the Secret Service. He used to work for the Secret Service. Bruh. And Dan Bongino, he's a no-nonsense type of guy, bro. He's in fact, oh my God, oh, they really are in trouble. They really are in trouble. Dan Bongino was the main one that was talking about the cocaine that was found in the White House. He was the main one that was talking about it. He was like, "Oh, look, they found it and they claim they got a partial DNA on it, and it's supposed to stay in the FBI evidence locker for 7 years until they bring a case for it." You feel what I'm saying? If they don't bring a case for it, it's supposed to stay in there for 7 years. So now he's let's see. DJF said there's a clip of a Cuban lady saying she makes the same amount as a janitor. She manages 7 buildings. Mm. Oh, ooh-wee. This is not looking good. This is not looking good for the Democrats. This is not looking good for the lefties. This ain't looking good, y'all. This ain't looking good for y'all. Ooh-wee. That's crazy. That's damn how the tables have turned. This is about to be an interesting year. This is about to be an interesting year, to say the very least. But we're going to cover it. We're going to cover all of it. With that being said, I got to go look up some stuff on this whole Dan Bongino thing, man. Shout out to Bootzilla, said Carmelo Soprano in the never wrong category. Yeah. But Tony used to call her out on her shit, though. Tony used to call her out on her shit. But yo, man, I gotta go look up some information about this with Dan Bongino. I gotta go look this stuff up, man. Yo, shout out to everybody that came through, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning into the show. It's definitely been an awesome one. Make sure you guys go check out my book, available on Amazon. All you have to do is type The Angryman Standard in the search bar on Amazon. It will come up. Also, if you want to check out the merchandise, you can click the link on the screen, or you can go to shopBinoNation.com. Again, that's shopBinoNation.com. Shout out to everybody that came through, hit the like button. Shout out to the sponsors of the show. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I will be back at you tomorrow. Deuces.
Spartans! What is your profession?